page 208. Lecture 1.
Over the course of this semester, I'm sure you've encountered a number of obstacles that you were certainly not used to dealing with before you entered college this school year. So that's what I want us to talk about today. Some of the challenges you've faced as first-year college students. Now, in case you're wondering, I want to talk about challenges because it's important to see that you're not alone in your first-year experiences. Every year, first-year students across the country go through some of the same things you do. And that's the point of this class, to help you deal with the college experience. And I think the best way to deal with it is to have a dialogue about your experiences as a first-year student, to talk about them so that you can help each other. You know, like, what's been challenging and how have you dealt with it? Okay, so who wants to go first? Any volunteers? Okay, no volunteers. How about this? Why don't I start by telling you about one of the challenges I faced as a first-year college student? Let's see. Well, I remember the first time I'd realized how unprepared I was for college. I showed up my first week of classes without books for any of the classes.
But how is that, Professor Hill? I mean, didn't they have a university bookstore at your school so that you could buy the books?
Well, yes, Chris, they did. But that wasn't the problem. You see, I was unaware of the fact that I needed to go to the bookstore to buy the books. I'd thought just by showing up to class with my backpack in hand and all of the school supplies I needed, I was ready. I didn't know I was required to use the names of the courses to help find the necessary books to purchase from the university bookstore. I didn't know anything about what to do, and my parents certainly didn't know because they had never been to college either.
Oh, wait. You mean you were an F-Gen too? A, first-generation college student?
Why, yes. Are you saying that you are as well, Nora?
Well, yes, I am. My parents and their parents have never gone to college, and none of my brothers or sisters have either. So I'm kinda in the same situation you were in, basically unprepared to succeed in college. I had my books for my classes, but I had other problems. Like right now I live at home, and this year has been really hard for me because I have no choice but to live there. My family couldn't afford the cost of me living in the university dorms here on campus, so I've had to stay at home. I work part-time to help pay for school, but I'm also working to save up enough money to get an apartment near campus for next year. I really don't want to have to live at home during my next year of school.
Hey, well, it couldn't be that bad. Seems like you're doing really well in all your classes. Why would you want to leave home? I mean, if my parents lived closer, I would definitely commute from home. I'd be saving a lot of money that way.
You're right, I am saving a ton of money. But you try studying in a place where your family keeps interrupting you because they don't understand how hard it is to do college work. The interruptions by my younger brother? Who can study like that? Having a part-time job off campus doesn't help either. My boss keeps asking me to work late hours when I have class the next morning.
You know, Nora, everything you've just talked about, difficulties with balancing school, home, and work, are all common challenges that first-generation college students often face. Your family may support you, but because they have never gone through the college experience, they can only understand so much. Oftentimes, they haven't ever seen a family member so focused on life at college, a life separate from their own. It happens to many first-generation college students. So believe me, I'm sure I'm not the only one who can relate to what you're going through. So now the question is, how can one effectively deal with the challenges of being a first-generation college student? Any thoughts?
Well, I think talking about our experiences in class like this is really helpful.
I agree. And what's great is that last month I found talking to one of the advisors at the University Academic Support Office to be really helpful as well.
Right. Talking with fellow students and getting support from the university is definitely a start.